What's going on, nerds? Just Nando right here, and let's talk comics. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, once again on the second episode of my English podcast. Actually, if you guys are wondering, my main podcast is in my mother tongue, which is in Malay, but I'll do in English here and there because I'm going to invite more guests across the world. So the first English episode that I did was with a Singaporean guy who is an comic book artist. But right now, I'm traveling across the other side of the world. Actually, it's not the other side. It's just like we so-called neighbors, She's from Philippines, and her name is none other than Jim. Or should I say it, the Pinoy MCU Fan. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Yes. Hi Nando. Hi everyone. It's amazing to be here. I can't believe that we're finally recording now. It's like a month ago we were just chatting it up on Instagram and now we're here.
Yeah, that's right. And I think I saw you. I want to ask, how do you came across my Instagram account?
Ooh, I was on Marvel Singapore and I was going through the post on Thunderbolts, and then I saw you in the likes, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow this person.
All right, okay, interesting. And then I noticed you got invited to catch Thunderbolts as well, right? Was that the first
Yes,
premiere?
you too.
Yeah,
You too. Yeah, congrats to us. Was that your
man.
first premiere?
I see. Okay.
Was that your first premiere?
Wait, mine? Oh yeah, no, that's my. I got invited since Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
6
This one,
months after I started my
is
TikTok. Yeah. I see. So when did you start doing content about MCU?
Ooh, I started the podcast. I think it was in 2020. I feel like it's December 2020, I believe. So it was during the pandemic. I have nothing to do, and so this is what I did.
I see. So actually we start kind of at the same timing, but I'm more towards 2021. So yeah, we are at the same era, I would say. The post Endgame era. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's good to see fans all over the world that's been doing content regarding Marvel, because back then it's very hard to see Asians, especially like us, Southeast Asians, talk about Marvel or DC or whatever, right? So to see us doing this kind of content is really amazing, man. And that's the reason why I invited you over to talk about this.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
yeah, so okay, since you started doing content about Marvel back in 2020, I want to ask, when did you become MCU fan, or maybe a Marvel fan?
I'd say pretty much everyone grew up, right? We all grew up watching the MCU. So practically we're all casual fans right now. But it wasn't until Infinity War and Endgame that I'm
see.
you know what? I'm going to sit down, binge watch everything, and I'm going to take notes because I want to theorize and everything. And then, Endgame came out, Infinity War came out, Endgame came out, and then everything after that. And again, the pandemic, and I'm like, oh my god, I have so many theories in my mind, I want to talk about this, and I keep talking about my theories with my friends and my boyfriend, and it's to the point that it's kind of too much for them to handle me talking about the MCU. So we're like, you know what, I'll just start a podcast so I can have an outlet where I can talk and yap and everything. And that's how I became the Pinoy MCU Fan Podcast, I'd say. But yeah.
And finally, after 4 years or maybe 5 years doing content about Marvel, you are finally invited to catch Thunderbolts in theaters.
No. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
know. I cried when I got the
Oh my god.
invitation. Because
I understand.
you know how it feels, right? When
Yeah.
you're making so much content about them, about, Marvel, DC, and everything. And then
Yeah.
finally they invite you. It feels
Mm-hmm.
very validating as a content creator like us, right?
Yeah.
So I was like super thankful for that. And yeah.
Hmm. True, I understand because I remember when I started doing back then I do not have any podcast or whatever. I just did a content on TikTok. And back
Mm-hmm.
then it wasn't about comics or MCU or whatever. I was doing about toy collecting. But mostly all my
Ooh.
toys I collected was I mean even right now I'm still collecting Marvel Legends figures. So
Mhm.
while unboxing my figs, I keep on talking about their backstory, about their
Yeah.
origin of the character itself. So one of my friend told me that why not start a podcast or maybe do a content regarding Marvel comics, and maybe one day Disney Singapore, maybe Marvel Singapore might notice you and invite you for premieres. No? I'm like, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. After I did one of the video, they start to engage me, and here we are. So yeah, I
Amazing. After
understand.
one video, damn,
I mean, not
amazing.
not really one video, like a few videos because it took me at least
You
six
just got.
months. Yeah,
Oh,
after
I see.
6 months of doing Marvel Comics content,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, TikTok SG start to notice, and yeah. But today is not about me; it's about you. So
It's
other
about us.
Marvel. Okay, all right, fine. Okay, so other Marvel, other than Marvel, do you like? Okay, are you a fan of DC or maybe other comic book movie?
Not
No.
much on DC. I'm not even gonna lie. I
Okay.
know, even though I know that Marvel and DC started having, their movies,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
would also watch DC growing up, but it wasn't like,
Mm,
it didn't really stay in my
I
memories
understand.
as much as, like,
Yeah.
how Marvel impacted me growing up. But
Mm.
yeah, yeah. But for the comics part,
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit I did not grow up reading the comics.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
that's
That's
why
right.
I call my podcast the Pinoy MCU, which is, the
MCU.
cinematic
Okay.
universe. Yeah, but even though I did not grow up reading the comics, one of the best things that comic readers like yourself told me is that
Mm-hmm.
just pick up a comic book that you like which character do you like, and
Mm.
just read from that. But I do admit at first comics is like super intimidating because it's
Yeah,
like
it's overwhelming.
80, 60 years of history, right, per
Yeah.
character, and we have so many characters in the Marvel universe, so
Yeah.
it's very overwhelming. But like, I finally started reading comics
Oh,
just like
nice.
2 years ago, like last year.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right.
Because
I have friends who started
but
this year
it's
actually.
yeah, but it's super fun. And I, even though I'm only like a cinematic universe kind of fan,
Mm-hmm.
I always still refer to the comics, even though I don't read
Mm.
the comics. But like, as a content creator that creates, content
Mm-hmm.
about cinematic universes such as Marvel, it's
Yeah.
it's hard to not, you really cannot ignore comics because everything
Yeah.
that we watch came from the comics, so we always have to
Yes.
like show respect to the
Yes, I
origins.
agree.
So
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a source material. Besides, if there
source
won't be
material.
MCU without the comics actually.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
whatever it is, you gotta go
exactly.
back to the comics. You gotta appreciate the art, the storyline, because
Mhm.
like I said, without the comics, there won't be any MCU. This is the problem with most of MCU fans. Like I notice most of them. I'm not gonna say all of them, but maybe a few bunch. You know, they disrespect the source material. Yeah,
Mhm.
even the directors or the writers for the movie. For example, Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh my god, I hate that movie so much, man. The way they disrespected
Yeah.
Thor. Oh my god. I don't even read Thor in the comics, but to see him being disrespected like that, I'm like, ugh. There's the reason why Taika Waititi is like one of my least favorite directors in Hollywood.
he kind of started like going downhill after Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
I also don't know what
Yeah.
happened to him or with him,
Hmm.
but I get
I
what you
think
mean. I get what you
I
mean.
think yeah, I think after because when he did Thor Ragnarok, it was good. But I
It
think
was it was.
he got it um I think the good reviews got into his head, you know. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it my way, and that's when all things get, you know, get too cheesy, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, he went too far with Love and
Yeah, went too
Thunder.
far. Yeah, I agree.
Ragnarok was a fresh new take. It
Mm-hmm.
was refreshing, but then he just ran with it with Love and Thunder. It was, wait, this is not our Thor,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Wait, since you mentioned about comics early on, I would like to know what was the first comic that you picked up?
Ooh, Old Man Logan.
Ooh, that's a good choice, man. That's a
Yeah.
really good choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Because I know that all of the as I said earlier, pick one character that you really like and just start from that. And
Mm-hmm.
my favorite at the time, my favorite movie was like Logan because I
Okay.
watched it late. And
I
then that's
see.
when when I watched it, I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? I cried, I bawled my eyes out. I'm like, what the hell? And then there's also this Marvel podcast drama show.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
called it's also based on Old Man Logan and then Old
Uh-huh.
Man Star Lord and everyone else. So I was listening to that podcast drama and I
Mm-hmm.
also cried because it was also based on Old Man Logan. So I'm like, you know what? Old
Mm.
Man Logan is fairly new, but it
Mm-hmm.
already has this like cult following. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'll just start from there. So that's what I got. And I got the it's not really like the single comics, how what do you
Mm-hmm.
call it? Like just a single
Single
issue
issue?
comics.
Yeah, single issue.
I got the graphic novel version.
Oh, graphic novel,
Is
yeah.
that what you call it? Yeah. So it's like
It's
for
the collector
it's
edition.
easier. Yeah, that one. So it's much easier for me to like read through because it's already
Yeah,
compiled. So
I
I'm
agree.
like, oh my god. And then I also cried when I read that comic. And I'm like, oh my god, I get it now. That's why the movie made me bawl my eyes out because the source material is this good,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
So
that's right. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm like,
There's the reason why you gotta go back to the comics, man. Wait, so
mhm.
you said you watched Logan quite late, right?
Yeah.
Have you watched X-Men, all those X-Men movies before that? Or
Yes,
Logan was the first one?
but more like, casual again because I grew up
I see.
watching X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, when X-Men came out in like 2000, and then, like
Yeah.
over the years, they stole the rights to like HBO on
Mm.
TV so you can watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I grew up watching, X-Men and
Okay, I understand.
everything. But again,
Mm.
it wasn't until like when streaming became a thing that I would be like, okay, sit down, watch
Mm.
everything, take notes, understand everything. So, yeah.
Mm.
So I
Well,
watched Logan like what? I remember Logan back then during Deadpool
mm-hmm.
2. It was like out and everything, but I did
Mm-hmm.
not give a I'm sorry. I didn't give a fuck back then about Logan because I'm like, what is Logan? Why is the picture
Yeah.
like the hand, right, with the
Mm.
claws and then a
Yeah.
kid holding it? I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't care for it. I went and watched Deadpool 2 and of course the MCU. And then like years later, which is I think I remember watching it in like 2022, I think,
Uh-huh.
just to prepare for just to prepare again for Deadpool 3 on
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm like, that's when I watched and I cried and I'm like, thank God I did not watch this back then because I feel like I wouldn't appreciate the movie.
Yeah. You can.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Would appreciate it. Yeah, that's the word.
I wouldn't appreciate it back
Yeah.
then in 2017. I think it came
Mm-hmm.
out in
Yeah,
2017,
it's
right? So
2017. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
not in the right headspace for it.
I
I feel like I
see.
wouldn't really understand the story
Mm.
and the connection. But now that I'm like a little bit older and then I watched Logan, I'm like, oh my god, Logan. Oh my god, Logan, and then tears on my eyes. But yeah.
Wait, so is Logan or Wolverine your favorite character?
Actually, I love all of them. I know I'm wearing a
Uh-huh.
Wolverine shirt.
Yeah, I noticed. I noticed you
Yeah,
wearing the Wolverine shirt.
but I love a bunch of characters in the MCU. I
Mm-hmm.
guess in the Marvel, I would say yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
have Wolverine, but in terms of like MCU without Deadpool and Wolverine and the X-Men yet, I'd
Mm-hmm.
say I'd say Loki. I mean, I
Loki.
love yeah, I love a bunch of characters, but I feel like
Okay.
like I love Captain America, I love Bucky, I love the
Okay.
Scarlet Witch, but I feel like
Mm.
it's Loki that I would actually go fight people just to like
Okay.
defend him and like support him. That's how I would say it. So I would say Loki, especially with the TV show now with his TV show.
Yeah.
That version of Loki is the redemption right there is
Yeah.
amazing, and I
The
truly
the
love the character.
Yes, I agree. The way they did his character development is really, really beautiful, man. From the character that we hate till we love,
Yeah,
and wanted him to be back for Secret Wars and Doomsday. In fact, you know. So yeah. That was your favorite MCU character. Am I right?
yeah.
So in the comics, maybe Wolverine. Correct.
I'd say Wolverine, yeah, because
Okay.
Wolverine, I would say Wolverine is like my connection back to the comics because he is the reason why I started picking up a comic book.
Nice, nice. I
Yeah.
respect that. Okay, since that was your favorite, what about your least favorite character? MCU and Marvel comic.
I'd say right now, I don't really hate a
Mhm.
character that much, but I'd say John Walker. I really hate John Walker.
John Walker.
I know we
Oh
just,
my god.
I know we just watched Thunderbolts, but I
Thunderbolts,
really
yeah.
hated him so much in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And
Yeah.
then Thunderbolts came out, and like my hate for John Walker was like validated because of the
Okay.
movie. Like everyone's laughing at him, everyone's not
Mm.
taking him too seriously, even though he
Yeah.
takes himself too seriously. But also, even though I kind of dislike him, I understand why he's such like that. You know what I mean. Like I kind of
Yeah.
understand why he's like that. So I wouldn't say like yeah. I'm saying right now that I hate him, but I do
Mhm.
appreciate that character. He is such a well written character. Like the
Yeah.
reason that why he's like that is because of like the military and how Val and
Yeah.
everyone else in the U.S. government, treated him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not really my least favorite, but I do hate him. But then
Mhm.
in the grand scheme of things, I really love how they did Walker. He's such a very straightforward but also very
Mhm.
complex character. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand where he's coming from because imagine you gotta replace Steve Rogers. The pressure is there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you try to impress everyone, but it's very hard to make everyone like you. In fact, everyone
Yeah.
started to hate him just for one mistake he did. And if you think about
Yeah.
it, Steve Rogers actually went to war and killed people. There's no difference, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, I understand where is he coming from, but yeah, John Walker.
Yeah.
I remember when I watched when I first watched Falcon Winter Soldier, I already knew who's John Walker, like because I read the comics, but to see
Yeah.
him in live action, I'm like, oh my god, finally, man, we are getting John Walker in the live action. But as the series go by, I'm like, damn, this guy is pissing me off, but I love it. Like that's how it should
Right.
be, man. Yeah,
You're right. Exactly. My same thoughts. I'm
yeah,
like, I fucking hate this guy. But then at the back of
yeah,
my mind, oh my god, this is such a great character and a great actor
yeah.
too. I'm like,
Yes, yes, I agree.
it's great overall. So
Yeah.
even though
Okay,
I
so
hate him, he's one
mm,
of the best characters we have right now.
yeah, true, I agree. And even his suit, man, oh my god, it's so comic accurate. I love. Okay, when the first time I saw him in Falcon Winter Soldier, they made his suit blue, same like Captain America, right? I wasn't a fan. I'm like, oh my god, MCU, what the hell are you doing, man? In the comics, he has the black suit. Why are you making him in the
Yeah.
blue suit? But at the end, where who's the lady that recruited them? What's her name?
Val.
Val. Yeah, when Val.
Valentina. Yeah.
Yes, when Val reintroduced him at the end of Falcon Winter Soldier with his black suit, I was fanboying so hard, and then to see him now in the theaters with the black suit, I'm like, damn, he's my favorite Thunderbolt, man. Or should I say New
Yeah.
Avenger?
New Avenger. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
a
so
full
that's
circle
your
moment. Yeah.
yeah, true. I agree. So that's your favorite and your least favorite. But let me touch on my favorite character. Okay, I'm
No.
not sure if you know about this or not, but pretty sure most of my listeners or my followers already knew this because I've been saying over and over again. But my favorite Marvel character is actually SpiderMan and Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
there's a
Daredevil.
but.
Yeah. Ooh.
There's a big but there. I freaking hate Spider-Man in the MCU. Spider-Man in the
Oh
MCU is
my
my
God.
least favorite character, man.
Why?
Though, okay, shit, man. I'm not trying to brag or whatever, but I mean, yeah, my followers know I have been reading comics
Nah.
ever since I was a kid. Okay, I've been reading Spider-Man comics, especially. I've been following Spider-Man comics ever since I was a kid. Ever since I was a kid, even until today, I'm still reading Spider-Man comics. And to see what they did for Tom Holland Spider-Man is really a major turn off, man. They changed the character, they changed the not the origin, but his personality is completely different. He's a dumbass, man. He make dumb decisions in the MCU, and I don't know. He's just dumb. For 3 movies, he never learned his lesson. For the first movie, he wanted,
Oh yeah, I never listened.
I want to be an Avenger. I want to be this. I want to be that. But when the second movie came out, you know what? I'm not gonna be an Avenger. I want to spend my time in Europe. You know what I mean? And there's no responsibility until Spider-Man. Even in No Way Home, the decision he made, like, I agree with Doctor Strange. Why don't you go and convince yourself to MIT or whatever before coming to me? You know, yeah. So I'm like, damn, this guy is so dumb. But I really hope they're gonna do him justice for the next trilogy. But for now, yeah, Spider-Man is my least favorite for the MCU.
Yeah. Oh, I understand because you're also a comic fan and you know like the past 60, 80 years history of
Oh, yeah?
Spider-Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess for me, since I don't know much about him from the comics, I guess he's like the MCU Spider-Man that we have is like the most, I'd say, closest to like the audience in terms of like, how do I explain it? Like, I guess the generation and the way that we see
Yeah.
things. Because
Yes,
like
the
the two
generation.
other two are like kind of, it's kind of old. I'm sorry, Toby and Andrew, but like I guess they did like a good job with like Tom Holland, just making him more
Yeah.
relatable and everything, based on the context that I know, which is Andrew and Toby and not reading the comics. But yeah, but I see where you're coming from,
Yeah.
especially as a comic fan. But I do hope that they take it up a notch, I'd say, with Brand New Day, because I feel like with Peter Parker and Spider-Man, I feel like the story is always going to be like quote unquote 2 ways, which is the one before the responsibility quote and then after the responsibility quote. I feel like the responsibility line, how does it go again? With great powers comes
Power,
great
there must also be- yes.
responsibility. That's where everything kind of changes. So I hope I hope that he gets smarter now, and he again
Yeah.
he carries the weight of the responsibility now, because
Yeah.
I understand now what you're saying, that in the home trilogy he's very much kind of careless. He doesn't know
Yeah.
what he wants. He's just going with the flow. So I didn't really realize that. I just, when you mentioned it, I'm like, wait, that does make sense, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna
I-
do another trilogy with Tom?
Based on
Do you
my
think?
friend that has a lot of scoops about Spider-Man or Marvel Cinematic Universe, we're gonna get another trilogy for now.
Another
That's what they
for
have promised
now.
us, because if I'm not wrong, they're gonna make him Spider-Man maybe for like four trilogies at least. Yeah, if I can remember correctly, lah. Yeah, but there's no confirmation or whatever. This is just
Oh,
what I heard. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Wait, so
It's gonna be Day trilogy this time.
yeah,
the date.
actually, I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
I won't be surprised. Yeah, so that was one of the problem. I haven't touched on the villains, the origin of Peter Parker in MCU. Yeah, I have a specific one episode ranting about MCU Spider-Man at my past episodes. But it's in Malay lah, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you won't understand. But it's okay. There will be a next discussion. Maybe in the future I'll invite you again. We can talk about Spider-Man or whatever. Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay. Since that those I already know about your characters, your list and your favorite characters. Right now I want to know your favorite MCU movie. Yeah, we have already up till new from Iron Man 1 till Thunderbolts, or should I say New Avengers. So what's your favorite MCU movie?
I have to say it's still Endgame. I don't know. I
Endgame?
just have this. Yeah, I just
Oh
have
my
this
God.
big like. I know it actually depends on like the mood and the vibe and like,
Okay.
but like generally like overall, I still love Endgame. I feel like that's where everything starts and ends. So I have like a big connection to it. I'm kind of
Understand.
attached to it. So yeah, but in terms of like personal like my what do you call that, like earth based movie, I'd say I like Ant-Man. I really love
Ant-Man?
Ant-Man. I really love, yeah, I
Okay.
really love the Ant-Man movies. When we talk about Avengers, I'd say Endgame.
Okay.
If we're gonna be talking about the post Endgame movies, I'd say Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Nice
Wakanda
choice.
Forever, and Thunderbolts as well.
Mhm.
So it's really hard to pick one. But if you were asking me to pick one favorite, I'd still say Endgame.
Endgame is a reasonable pick actually. I agree. Yeah. Even Endgame is not my favorite MCU movie. I would say I won't choose No Way Home because I believe that No Way Home is only for nostalgic purpose, you know, and it's just a fan service kind of movie. But besides No Way Home, maybe I'll pick Infinity War, or maybe Civil
Infinity
War,
War.
because Civil War is
Yeah.
the first introduction
Civil
of
War, yeah.
Spider-Man. But after watching the trilogy of Spider-Man, I might reconsider my favorite MCU movie. But I would say Infinity War, because to see Thanos beat up every single Avenger is satisfy me, man. Yeah. So okay, that's your favorite. What about your least favorite MCU movie?
Quantumania.
Wait, your favorite was Ant-Man, and then
I
Quantumania is your
answered
least
that too
favorite?
fast. I answered that too fast, right? I actually did my review for Quantumania is just 2 episodes of me and my boyfriend just talking shit about Quantumania. I'm so sorry, but like it's because I love Ant-Man. The first 2 Ant-Man films, I love them so much. Like, yes, I know that they're kind of, I guess at the time that they came out, they received like kind of bad reviews. But I was a casual fan back then, so I didn't really care what people think. I just, I just came in and watched, and I love those movies. They're a bunch of like heist movies,
Yeah.
and it's a very low key, not low key, but like more like
It's a simple
street
movie, I would say.
based.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Simple,
very simple
straightforward.
movie,
Yeah.
but it's full of humor. It's full of heart. Cassie and Scott, they're amazing,
Yeah.
and then Scott's friends are hilarious. They're super. There's this a bunch of dynamics in the first 2
Yeah.
Ant-Man films that was
I agree.
lost in Quantumania. So
True.
I hate Quantumania. It's like it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
The tone of the movie, the change of tone of the movie is like too drastic. Like, I understand where you're coming from. Like the first 2 movies is just a simple heist movie, and then the third movie is like, wait, why is he fighting against the big bad of this phase, which is Kang? And then the way they end off Kang's character is like too lazy and too simple, man. A bunch of ants. Yeah. And then right now they are changing the main villain for the Avenger movie, which is Doctor Doom. So what's gonna happen to Kang right now? I even rewatched it. Actually, okay, Quantumania wasn't really my least favorite, but the reason why I enjoyed Quantumania is because I get to see Kang in the
Me
movie.
too.
Yeah.
I do enjoyed Quantumania. I'm not even gonna
Mm-hmm.
lie. I enjoyed it. It's just that this is an Ant-Man film. What the fuck happened to
Yeah.
Ant-Man? So that's
Exactly.
why I'm like, ugh. But Kang was like the saving grace of the movie. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
But it's such a waste to like. I know it doesn't matter now because like Kang and the actor is like booted off the MCU, but
True.
like at the time, it's like why are we introducing the big bad villain of the
Yeah.
MCU in an Ant-Man movie?
Exactly.
Like it does not make sense. It's not
Yeah.
adding up. But okay, I guess.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
it will be fine if they introduce Kang in that movie, but make him a menace, man. Make him hard to beat, make him hard to
Mhm.
defeat or whatever. Make Ant-Man vulnerable or struggle because
Yeah.
Ant-Man is like, compare Ant-Man to Captain America or Thor, Hulk. He's like the least strongest, I would say. And
Yeah,
to
yeah,
defeat
he is.
Kang just like that, I'm
Kang.
like, nah, it doesn't make sense,
Exactly.
man. Kang should
Right?
beat his ass down and maybe trap him again in the Quantum Mania or whatever,
Mhm.
and then make the Avengers save him in the next movie. But
Yeah.
we got what we got, man.
I don't know. Yeah, we got what we got. I mean, I guess kind of like I know like the end credit scene for that movie is all waste now, but
Yeah,
I guess I'm kind of glad that I don't have to tell people like you have to watch Quantumania because the big bad villain of the next Avengers film is
yeah,
Kang. I don't have to tell people to. I don't have to force people to watch
yeah. I agree.
Quantumania
Yeah,
because we're gonna be having Doom anyway. So you know.
true. Okay, since we are talking about Doom, I want to know what are your thoughts about RDJ coming back as Doctor Doom?
I'm like
Because
mixed.
this issue is like a controversial. Because myself, I hated the idea, man. What about you? What do you think?
I'm actually mixed. I'm like, yay,
Mm-hmm.
I actually love RDJ. I can't believe he's gonna be, especially after his Oscar run, right? So
Oh yeah,
it's like he's a great actor too, so I know that he's
yeah,
gonna do great, but like it's the legacy part that I am
yeah.
having a hard time to like talk about or like
Mm-hmm.
reflect on because this
Yeah,
man is the face of Iron Man. And then you're
yeah,
gonna tell me he's now Doom, another iconic character from the comics,
yeah.
and you're just gonna reuse an actor
True.
for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also there's also this talks about we should have gotten a Romani actor to play
Yes, I
Doctor
agree.
Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of talks about it. And another issue for me, or another like, yeah, another issue that I'm thinking of is like, you know how like I'm pretty sure you know this, but like in the comics, something about Iron Man and Doctor Doom, like Tony
Mm-hmm.
Stark is actually Doctor Doom or something, and I'm like,
I think
isn't that
there's like
kind of
a different universe, I guess. Yeah.
isn't that kind of lazy? You have to admit, if they're going
Yeah.
that way, it's very lazy.
Yeah,
And
I hate
so
that, man.
far, we've had like super bad adaptations of like Doom in the past Fantastic Four movies. So I'm
Yeah.
like, it's mixed feelings. I'm
Mixed
like,
feelings, yeah,
I
I
don't know if I
understand.
should be excited or worried or like
Mm-hmm.
exact right. So
I'm excited for
uh,
Doom to be in the MCU, but
yes,
RDJ, I don't know, man. Because we
mixed
already had a good
feeling.
send off. Yeah, we had a good send off for Tony Stark or RDJ in
Rockford Day.
the
Yeah,
Endgame, and then a few years later, this is what we got.
it's
I
gonna.
mean, when the
Yeah,
first time when they showed us last year during SDCC, do you remember where they introduced RDJ as Doctor Doom? I was so hyped, but then after
me
watching
too.
after watching that
And then like,
clip, I was like, wait a minute,
wait,
this is Cass Grab.
exactly. Wait
Yeah,
a minute. Wait a damn minute. What's happening right now?
yeah.
One of my first introductions to Doom was actually in the podcast show that I'm talking about the I forgot what it's called, but it's like Old Man Doom.
Uh-huh.
It's also part of this like podcast series by Marvel, and I
Uh,
really love the depiction of Doom there.
mhm.
I understand now what comic fans are talking about, that Doom is this kind of person. He's very like intimidating. He's a leader.
Yes.
He knows what he wants. He's kind of
Mm.
narcissistic.
Yep.
He's kind of like all the good things and all the bad things about Doom.
Mm.
And I understand like, okay, RDJ has that same kind of vibes because he did Iron Man. Like, okay, I know RDJ is a great actor. I know that he's gonna do Doom justice in terms of the
Yeah.
acting. But then again, we're gonna be circling back to the legacy, and
Yeah.
it's now,
I
you
mean,
know,
there are so many other actors out there that could play Doom really well, but RDJ is the one that they pick. I don't understand.
I know. I feel like it's because, the thing that happened with Kang, everything
Yeah.
went downhill with the actor right there.
Yeah.
And they invested kind of big. They invested quite a lot on Kang. Like they
Mm-hmm.
used his face for everything in Loki. And
Yeah.
then they brought him to Quantumania. There's a movie named after him. So I
Yeah.
feel like they're just trying to like get back as much investment. You know
True.
what I mean? Like they're trying
True.
to get more money back, and I guess
Yeah.
they're using RDJ for that. Like the
I mean,
hype with Iron
for
Man.
yeah, exactly. And for casual fans, they will love to see RDJ back in the MCU.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he gonna play Iron Man or Doctor Doom or whatever. But casual fans gonna love it, seeing RDJ back.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we are already at the 30 minutes mark. I'm gonna ask you the last question.
Mm-hmm.
Since we are getting Doomsday and Fantastic Four, and Secret Wars, for the next movie, what are your thoughts? Like, what are your expectations for? Okay, let's talk about Fantastic Four first. What are your expectations for Fantastic Four? Wait, let me
I
guess.
actually
Let
have
me guess. You are expecting Disney Philippines to invite you once again. Am I right?
that. That is what I'm expecting. Oh my God, Disney Philippines, Disney Singapore. If you guys are listening,
Please,
please invite us.
please invite us.
Yeah, but I'm actually I kind of have zero expectations for now,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like for the past few years I've been putting up, I've been setting up my expectations
Hmm.
kind of high, or like just the fact that I'm expecting at all, and then I kind of get disappointed. So I'm like, you know what? For this last stretch of the movies ahead of like Avengers, let's kind of tone it down. But in terms of the characters, the fact that Sue Storm is
Hmm.
pregnant, I'm kind of excited to see Franklin
Let's
Richards. So that one,
go.
I'm so excited, and because I'm upset again. I'm gonna be mentioning this podcast show. That
Mm-hmm.
because that's this Marvel podcast show. I'm gonna send it to you. You might like it.
Yeah,
That's
please.
where I was introduced to Old Man Logan,
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Doom, and then also Franklin Richards, and also Valeria Richards, which is
Yeah,
the children of the
sister. Yeah,
Richards. And yeah, so I'm like, I'm kind of attached to these characters because of that podcast show. And then
I
now that
see.
I'm gonna be seeing them on, on
Live
screen,
action. Yeah,
I'm super excited, especially the children. And
yeah.
I think this is the first time we're gonna be seeing Fantastic Four in film that has a family, right?
Yes.
Because the one with Chris Evans and yeah,
That one
the
we
first,
we were so close to have a family because
yeah,
Ben Grimm
they
was
got
getting
married.
married. Yeah, Ben Grimm got married on the second movie, right?
Yeah,
Was it the second movie
and
or the first
also
one? Yeah.
I think it was the first movie. I Was it the first movie or the second? I feel like it was the second. But
I
someone
think
got married
this.
in that film, the series,
Yeah,
in that,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I can't remember,
yeah,
but yeah, something like that. And then
yeah.
the
It's
the
and then the
reboot of Fantastic Four was what the
oh
hell
my
was that?
god, I know. Like, why did they put military in the mix? I'm like,
Yeah,
aren't they a bunch of like science super smart people, and aren't they like astronauts? Aren't they supposed to
I
be with
agree.
NASA? Why is there the military part made it so weird. Like, I do not like how they treated Ben in that. I actually rewatched it like a few a few months ago.
Man,
Like, oh
I
damn,
tried.
okay. I remember watching this as a casual fan on Netflix. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, it's kind of okay, nothing memorable or anything. But now that I
Yeah.
rewatched it, I'm just mad now. I'm just mad about it.
Now you understand, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's
even watching it on cinemas, with a free ticket, I feel like I got scammed.
with a free ticket,
Yeah.
right? Like they
Like,
wasted
what
your
the hell?
time.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
wasted
Like
your time. Yeah,
I couldn't get those 2 hours back, man.
exactly. And wasn't
Ugh.
it like they went on a planet? And I'm like, is that the negative zone? But then it's not the negative zone.
Hmm.
And then Doom got his powers there. I'm like, it is such a mess.
They wasted
Like,
on Doom
what was happening?
characters. Ugh,
Exactly. And then
yeah.
the Doom actor in that series, in that reboot, was kind of, he's kind of a great actor. So I kind
Hmm.
of understand why they chose him for Doom, but
Yo,
then they just made him so bad.
yeah. I mean,
It's like,
that Fantastic Four had a lot of good actors, man. Like
yeah,
was it
Miles
Miles Teller?
Teller.
Miles Teller,
Yes,
Michael B. Jordan,
it's great.
and then who's the
Yes,
lady? Sue Storm.
I
Who
forgot
played
her
Sue
name.
Storm?
I,
Yeah,
I forgot.
and
Oh my
then
god, I'm so sorry. And then we
yeah,
have
and then the Doctor Doom
thing,
guy.
the Doctor
Oh
Doom
my
guy.
god,
I
what a
remember
waste.
watching him in Black. Was it the Netflix show, the scary Netflix show?
Ah, shit, I
I
can't
forgot.
remember.
Black Mirror. Black
Oh, Black
Mirror.
Mirror.
The guy,
Okay.
the Doom guy, is one of
Mm.
the, yeah. His episodes is great in Black
Yeah.
Mirror, and then he's Doom, and then they fucked him up, and it's crazy. So I feel
Yeah.
like I will just lower my expectations for this Fantastic Four, even though
True.
I'm not gonna lie, based on the trailer, it's looking good, right? It
Man,
looks
it's very
good.
convincing. It's very
It
convincing.
is.
I have so many theories, my friends. I mean, I don't know, man. To discuss theories about this Fantastic Four movie is really, really overwhelming. I just don't want to
Mhm.
think too much. I'm just gonna enter the cinema and
Exactly.
just,
Yeah. Just be happy, just be excited.
yeah,
Yeah, lately I've been like that too, like just excited to see this character again on
yeah.
live action,
Oh yeah.
right?
Speaking
Because
of that, sorry. Well, finish. You can.
no, it's
You were
okay, it's
saying?
okay. What? No,
I
it's
mean,
okay.
what was your reaction when you saw Fantastic? I mean, you were one of the few people to catch Thunderbolts first, right? So,
Yeah.
you got to avoid all the spoilers. So, what was your reaction when you saw the Fantastic Four spaceship
Dude,
at the end?
when it zoomed in,
Uh
everyone
huh.
was like, we all screamed so loud in the theater. We screamed, we clapped. Some of us even like jump up on our seats
Oh
because
my
like,
god.
oh my god. But then after a while, I'm like, okay, I kind of have an idea now how, because like one of the theories for Fantastic
Mm-hmm.
Four is that it is set in a different universe from
Yep.
ours. So one of the theories is like, well, they're gonna find a way to bring, the Fantastic Four into
The
our
MCU. Yeah.
main timeline. And
Yeah.
then Thunderbolts happened, the end credits came, and like, oh my god, that's how exactly they're gonna go to our universe.
Exactly. At
So,
first
yeah,
I thought that spaceship was X-Men's what's that spaceship called?
the black, was it Blackbird?
Blackbird,
Oh,
right?
was it?
Yeah, something like that. I thought it was X-Men's spaceship because I got kind of spoiled on TikTok because
Mhm.
in the US I think they had a special screening or whatever. Oh no, red carpet, and then some fans
Mhm.
recorded it, but I managed to
Mm-mm.
just swipe through. But I saw a spaceship. I saw Yelena's back and if I'm not wrong, Bucky's back looking at the screen.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Mhm.
wait a minute. So I swipe up.
This one.
But in my mind, when I went into the theater, I was like, shit, I just got spoiled watching the post ready and it's gonna be X-Men's Blackbird or whatever. And then I saw Fantastic Four logo. I'm like, holy shit, this is so much better than X-Men.
Right, exactly. So much better than X-Men. And
Yeah.
yeah, super excited. And I feel like and it's even better because when they zoomed in, they played
Mhm.
the Fantastic Four theme
Yeah.
by Michael Giacchino. So it's like, oh
Yeah.
my god,
Do you know how much
Fantastic Four.
yeah. Do you know how my friend got spoiled? he actually managed to avoid all the spoilers on social media or whatever, but he saw the title Fantastic Four and the credits
In the
and the
credits.
credits roll. Yeah. He was like, wait a minute. Why is there a Fantastic Four main theme song?
We didn't hear
in
it
this
earlier.
Movie?
Yeah,
And then it's like,
exactly.
shit, it's gonna.
It's about the end credits scenes. You know what? I'm
Yeah.
so dumb when I watched it because in I don't know if you guys watch it in IMAX, right?
Yeah, we did.
Right. Right. You know, like in the beginning, in the IMAX, like there's a countdown
Yeah.
and they used the
Fantastic
Fantastic
Four.
Four theme.
Yeah.
So when I
Yeah.
saw that in the credits, like, oh, that's nice. They even credited the intro of the IMAX movie.
Okay.
That's how I understood it. Oh, okay, that's why it's in the credits. And then like
But
the end credits scene
no.
came. I'm like, oh my god, that's what you mean? They're using that song.
You know, I was actually disappointed with the first mid credits where I think Red Guardian was at the supermarket, right? I'm like, I wasted my time. I actually wanted to go to the toilet so bad, and I'm like, are you telling me I had to hold my pee just for these stupid
For
credits? Yeah, and then wow, it was worth it, man. Fantastic Four. Damn. Okay lah. Jim, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I had so much fun talking to you, man, for this episode. I would definitely invite you once again. Maybe for Ironheart. I mean, Ironheart is coming out in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Am I right? As
Yeah,
this
in 2 weeks.
episode is coming out, Ironheart is coming out next week, June 24th.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Maybe in the middle of the series, because the first episode I'm going to invite one of my friend. We'll see if he's
Wow.
busy, then maybe I can consider you as my guest once again. But thank you so much, Jim. Do you have
Thank
like
you.
anything to say before we end this episode? Like you want to shout out for your channel or whatever?
Yeah, of course. Again, Shazwan, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so
Of
glad
course.
that I get to talk to a fellow fan. It's exciting and it's fun. I had so much fun. I like my cheeks are hurting because we've been laughing and smiling the whole
I
time.
understand.
Yeah. So please do check out my podcast, the Pinoy MCU Fan
Yes.
Podcast. It's on Spotify. I know that my face is going to be on Shazwan's YouTube channel, so
Yes,
that's gonna
sir.
be exciting. Yeah, so please do check us out both. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Thank you.
So guys, go and check out the Pinoy MCU Fan on Spotify. You don't have YouTube, right? There's no YouTube.
I don't.
Yeah, you
No,
gotta check out.
no
If you
YouTube.
guys are listening to this podcast on Spotify and you guys are wondering how does Jim looks like, go and head out to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Subscribe to YouTube channel. Let's talk about Nando. Follow and listen to this podcast on Spotify. Let's talk about Nando. Follow me on TikTok. Let's talk comics, and follow me on Instagram, Nando, and also follow the Pinoy MCU Fan on Instagram as well. Yeah, and check out her
Yes.
podcast on Spotify. The Pinoy MCU
Yes.
Fan. Once again, thank you, Jim. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so happy I have like another friend outside Malaysia and Singapore, which is located in Philippines, that has the same interest as I do, because I've been doing this podcast in Malay for the past 6 months, I guess. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, around there. And most of my guests, all of my guests were from Malaysia. So having you outside Malaysia and Singapore is really an honor, man. Yeah. So I appreciate it.
Me too. You are also my first international,
Ooh, nice.
guesting. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Maybe one day, we never know, if Avengers Doomsday
Yeah.
coming out or Secret Wars, Disney Philippines and Disney Singapore decided to bring us to Hollywood to catch Avengers,
Oh, damn. Yeah,
Maybe we
we
can hang out.
should. We should. Yeah.
Let's manifest. Please, Disney,
Yes.
bring us to Hollywood to check out. Hey, this thing might be true. One of my friend in Indonesia, she does movie content, movie reviews of Hollywood movies or whatever, for years already. And then this year, she went to Hollywood twice just to review Quiet Place and what's that? The other movie, Minecraft.
Oh, wow.
She got invited by
the
Netflix,
studio,
and she
the
got invited.
studio went, wow.
Yeah, and then she
Oh,
got interviewed.
amazing.
No, I think it was 3 times. Another movie was the Russo brothers movie as well. That came out on Netflix.
From Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
What the
Just
electric
imagine.
stage? The electric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just imagine you get to interview
We
Russo
gotta
brothers.
grind, bro. Bro, we
Yeah,
gotta grind
exactly.
harder.
Let's
And
do
then we
this, man.
should like tag Disney Philippines and Disney Singapore.
Yes.
Please send
yes.
us.
And then when we meet
Gotta work
Russo
hard.
brothers, we gotta say, Tangina, why you bring back RDJ?
Tangina.
Okay, thank you so much, Jim. Once again, thank you so
you.
much. Once again, guys, go and follow her, go follow me. In the meantime, Shazana right here. Let's talk comics, nerds. Peace. Ciao.